A lot of this video is cooking, and so to start off, I have this stir fry that I've been making a lot. I just have some Savoy cabbage, broccoli, carrots, and then finally chopping some garlic and ginger. And then I'm mixing together some rice vinegar, sesame oil, sesame seeds, that garlic and ginger that I had just cut up, and tamari. And after I cook down the vegetables a little bit, I add that in. And then I made some tofu on the side and added it with these noodles, and it is delicious. A lunch option that I've really been enjoying lately is like a chickpea tuna salad kind of thing. So for that, I'm just really finely chopping some celery up. I think this was like 1 or 2 sticks. So yeah, just making that really fine. And then also chopping up some sweet onion. You could totally use red onion or something. I just don't like raw onion that much, and sweet onion is much more manageable. So also chopping that up really finely and putting that together, and then adding some sriracha, juice of half a lemon, salt and pepper. I also added in some whole grain Dijon mustard, which is one of my favorite ingredients. And then I'm adding a whole can of rinsed and washed chickpeas and a couple scoops of some like Hellmann's vegan mayo. I thought this was going to be too much mayo, but it actually turned out really well, and that's great on some toasted bread with like some chips. I am back home finally after quarantine with William at his place. I'm in my bedroom and I'm feeling good, so that's exciting. And I thought that I would vlog kind of me getting my stuff together and trying to kind of get back into the semester and routines and whatnot. Last night Alyssa came over and we hung out and it was lovely, and we gave myself some layers. So that's exciting. Classes were supposed to be in person today, which I was really looking forward to because it's the first time this semester that we would have been in person, but there is a snowstorm coming. We're supposed to get like 15 inches, and so class was canceled. Well, not canceled. Class was moved online today, but now I have this lovely view of snow during my classes, and I am just about to do some work before my class in 2 hours. Also drinking some coffee, but yeah, feeling nice and organized. I did a little story sale yesterday, and I'm going to be sending some clothing off that I sold, which I'm really excited about because I have many things and I'm realizing that. And I just have a lot of goals for this semester because I'm actually feeling really motivated and good, which I was not last semester. So I'm looking forward to diving into stuff and taking care of myself and getting better sleep and like having just more fun. So this is my first vlog, if this may be a series, who knows, but basically like getting myself together and getting routines in place while also like just enjoying things more. Yeah.
Did not want to use those words. It was clear he couldn't bring himself to say
a certain amount of havoc on Wall Street, on hedge funds, on trading platforms.
I was really struggling to focus on the homework that I was doing, so I decided to put on The Bachelor, and I'm gonna do a little bit of stretching and massaging and maybe get some more done. If not, call it a day.
This moment with Matt, but it's just like she is getting exactly what she wants.
Okay, so I brought a comforter from home when I moved up here, and it was just like an average comforter, and it like didn't even fit my duvet super well, and it wasn't really warm, and I live in a very old house in Boston, so it's fucking cold. My dad moved into a new house that was furnished, and this comforter was like just too heavy for North Carolina because it doesn't get that cold. And so he sent me this comforter, and it's like a nice fluffy down comforter, and like literally when I tell you, like, it is so nice, I'm gonna cry. Like, I'm like, this is what I've been missing out on. It's amazing. I just feel wonderful. Let's be honest, doing dishes is self-care because nobody wants to do it and it's not fun to do, but once you do it and it's done, it feels great and everything looks cleaner and you feel really productive. Okay, I'm just making a cup of coffee right now. I have showered, I have done the dishes, or most of them, and I'm cleaning up my room. I've got a little homework to do before my class in an hour and a half. Yeah, jeez. That's what's going on. Trying to stay organized. I have a lot to do since I'm a little bit behind just from like quarantine and stuff. Not just with school, because I do have a lot of stuff with school, but also just feeling like I need to get organized. I have some earring orders that I got behind on just because of not being home. So we're trying to gather everything together, trying to stay on top of things this semester and feel clean and keep the space clean. So here's, I need to see my boobs. I'm gonna go get a shirt. I'm back. I'm making a cup of coffee, so here we are. Yeah, Maeve is not here right now. She is at school. I have yet to have an in-person class because we had a snowstorm on, today's Wednesday, on Monday, and I only have in-person on Monday, Thursday. So Monday got moved online. But that means tomorrow that I'm on campus. I'm only on campus for my 10 a.m. though. My 4 p.m. is also online this week because we have a guest. Richard Primack is coming to speak to my class, who is, I don't know his exact title, but a climate scientist of sort, which is really exciting because we just read his book and it's cool. And yeah, I'm actually really excited for that, but because we can't have guests on campus, that class is online because he's like a guest on Zoom. I'm not really sure what this video is going to be. I just kind of wanted to record myself trying to get into some good habits, get some stuff going, because I'm feeling optimistic about this semester, feeling motivated to put time into myself and like actually stay on top of work and things like that. So I just kind of wanted to share some of those like goals and routines and stuff like that. So here I am making coffee. It's 12:30. My energy from, I'm assuming, well, my energy has been super low, and I think part of that was just that I was like, I have been in a really bad schedule because I had like literally no energy last semester. That also could have just been that I was like, I don't know, pretty depressed last semester, so that obviously affects my energy. But I also just was going to bed really late and waking up really late. Terrible system. But I also think that COVID has wiped me out because that's a big side effect, is like exhaustion and fatigue. So I've been struggling, but my sleep schedule's been a little bit better, which is really positive, and that's like kind of big for me. So I want to continue to work on that. And yeah, and I'm gonna run to like Walgreens today down the street and get some more vitamins. I've been taking an elderberry zinc vitamin C1 I've also just been taking vitamin C. I need to be better about taking my vitamin D3, which helps a lot with energy, and that's really good. But I also want to try out zinc sulfite, maybe? I don't know, some kind of like zinc thing, because I still don't have my taste back, and so I would like to try anything that might help with that. So I'm gonna go get that, because I've been reading more about stuff. And I saw this post from this doctor saying that I should be taking like Mucinex and ibuprofen every day post-COVID. So I might be taking, I don't know, I might get Mucinex and try that, because I still do have like some congestion.
The news is bad.
Nobel Peace Prize winner Aung San Suu Kyi rounded up and arrested an unknown number of its elected leaders.
They were in a book or hidden between their walls in shacks. And it's kind of a currency to say, okay, you're on the right side of history if you accept this photo that you have of this woman who was kind of a goddess and had released from house arrest.
Why was she released?
She would be able to control major levers of power, and a really charismatic Nelson Mandela kind of figure from young.
Good morning, guys. It's like 10:30. I just straightened my hair and I'm gonna put a little blush on. I have a magazine pitch meeting at 11. So in like 30 minutes, I'm just watching some YouTube videos. This is what I'm wearing when it's feeling warm but comfortable. So here we are. Currently watching the end of the tour about David Foster Wallace from my magazine publishing class. I just ate some trail mix, so I've used my teeth. But I have a meeting in an hour. I'm trying to get some work done. Took a little bit of a nap earlier. But I wanted to talk about something that was actually really helping me so far, and that I utilized a little bit more like over the summer, but since school have fallen off that bandwagon a little bit just because the expectations are higher. But I'm a big list person. I love lists. They make me feel sane, but they can also get really overwhelming because sometimes I'm like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and then I write it all down and I'm like, wow, I literally can't do this. So then at the end of the day, when I cross off 2 things, I feel really like unproductive. But what I was doing kind of in quarantine when I like really couldn't do much is I would set like a couple really small goals, like go on a walk or like make a new recipe or something like that, like things that were very attainable. And it really helped my mental health. So I'm trying to do that with homework, of like just basically trying not to like procrastinate things, but also at the same time set too high of expectations, because I very easily get overwhelmed with stuff. Like I'm like, oh, I have all of these things to do, so I'm just gonna like not think about it yet. Not good. So basically I've been trying to write more specific goals. So instead of just saying like, for example, like write fiction story for a workshop on February 15th. I am trying to say like, oh, outline this story or free write for 10 minutes, and it's something that I can actually cross off at the end of the day and helps me get to a place where I'm actually achieving progress, but I'm not like, it's not such a daunting task. Like I'm not like, hey, write this whole like 10-page story that you want to be good. You know, it's making a little bit of progress, or, you know, like, I have a lot of projects coming up, but I have like this presentation in my magazine publishing class. So instead of just saying, you know, work on magazine presentation, I'm saying, you know, adding a little bullet point and saying research target audience, or you know, take screenshots of different covers and stuff like that. So hopefully it will help me actually get a little bit more done each day, because it is something that I can actually accomplish, rather than feeling like I didn't do it because I didn't do the whole thing. And so I know that's like a pretty basic idea, but I think for me, and I think for a lot of college kids, it can get really overwhelming to do that, because you're like, oh, I want to get all this stuff done, but it's just not possible to do in one day. So setting really attainable goals, even if it seems like minuscule, like adding like read 5 pages of something, like I'm like, that's something that you can very easily do, and you get to check off at the end of the day, which if you're anything like me, it makes you feel really good and kind of productive and sane and on top of things, and it makes me less scared to work on things in the future because I'm not just putting it off.
stressful and there's like so much shit in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Despite the proximity, there was a lot that was so far from anything that the people in the hurt, but I could see that there was only a certain.
I just got back from some in-person classes, which is fun. But a part of me getting back into some routines and like feeling organized and all of that stuff is meal planning. Not prepping. I'm not gonna be making anything beforehand, but I will be planning out what mostly dinners that I'm gonna be making. Some lunch stuff, some stuff can also be lunch things, because I have found that I don't mind the act of cooking, it's the like decision making that I really struggle with. So I thought I would let you know what's on my list for groceries and dinners this week. My like main meal things, I'm gonna do a creamy miso pasta with Brussels sprouts. Most of these are from the First Mess. I'm gonna do a ginger sweet potato coconut milk stew with lentils and kale. And then I'm gonna do some green goddess kind of bowls with like crispy chickpeas and farro. And then I have some cashews, so I think I'm gonna make like a creamy sauce with that. And then I wanna do sweet potatoes and a barbecue sauce tempeh kind of thing, with like mixed greens maybe. And then I kinda wanna make apple scones, even though I can't really taste them, you know, I still have to eat. So on my list, I've got Earth Balance because I'm almost out of butter. I think I'm gonna get sticks too because I do want to bake. I need some raisins for oatmeal. I have mixed greens, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, sweet onion, vegetable stock, kale, full fat coconut milk. I might get some more raw cashews, farro, broccoli, maybe ground flax for said baking endeavors, almond milk, and then some apples.
Just so like you guys have an idea of what the soundtrack is gonna sound like to this.
Daddy, do we have regular like white sugar?
You know, I'm not positive we do.
If not, we've got light brown, which I feel like is not a big deal.
Let's combine it with water and see if it becomes white sugar.
But you were slow.
Or like, I was always, and that's why I killed them.
Oh my gosh, Wendy, let's go to baking powder.
Tell me that.
We're making apple scones.
We're making apple scones.
Apple scones?
They're going to be delicious.
Should we do apple scone?
I am not under any influences.
Oh, we have to do the little chia seed in the coffee grinder moment, but I'll wash it out, don't worry.
Make the glaze.
I would do like a powdered sugar kind of moment.
No, it's growing pains. Like it's painful for your family
Yeah.
to experience that too.
I'm so sorry, but your face is not. I'm so nervous. We're gonna do a no taste test. I get good vibes from it.
I'm getting good flavor from it. So.
Okay.
It's good. She went to dance school, folks.
We'll do a little 360 and a little break.
Oh.
All right, last night Maeve and I made this like cashew miso pasta thing that was great. So I'm gonna do that for lunch today because I have just like a little bit of the sauce left and some pasta. So I have water boiling, I have some tempeh and broccoli right here that I'm just gonna cut up and saute with like olive oil and tamari and throw it in with the sauce, and I'm really excited because it's gonna taste really good. And I'm also drinking some tea right now. Hi, I had class today. I just had one online class, so very chill. And just wrote for a little bit. I had like a spark of motivation and then that was it. The whole reason I'm like focused on routines and trying to like have more routines is because I feel like shit a lot of the time. I have been so tired, and I think part of that, yes, is COVID, because it's like just so much of my day is me like being exhausted or like being scared that I'm gonna get super tired. But honestly, that was also a lot of last semester. Granted, my mental health hasn't been like the greatest, so I'm sure that has some impact, but also at the same time, like I just feel very discouraged with it because I'm like, I don't think me taking vitamins, or I mean, I have been trying to take my vitamins, but like my mom is always like, take your vitamin D, like that's why you're tired. And I'm like, I'm not convinced that that's what's gonna make me like energetic. And I've played around with caffeine a little bit where I like don't drink much of caffeine, and like that hasn't really helped. But then I also like will try coffee sometimes, and like sometimes that like gives me a good boost and other times not. But like literally for the like I've been like sleeping so much, and that was like the case over break, and that was the case over like most of last semester, honestly, because I like wasn't like, I'd maybe go to bed late, but I'm like none of my classes were super early, so I'd like still get a good like 8 to like 12 hours of sleep depending on the day. And I'm like, there's just no, like that doesn't seem right. Like why am I sleeping plenty and like still exhausted? I don't know. So I don't know what it is. And I don't know if it's because it's like I'm inside all day. Like if I was doing things, I would feel better. But like, I guess I am outside doing things sometimes. But like today, I don't really have like a reason to leave. And now that my class is over, it's dark out. So like, I don't know if I would feel better if I like had physical obligations. But it's tiring to be tired, you know? And I want to feel energetic so I can get things done. And like I have moments where I feel like really good and really like motivated, but it's so brief. And then it makes me fear for like when I'm gonna be tired again, because I'm like, oh fuck, I have things to do tonight. Like I wanna feel like this later. Like why is that not consistent? I don't know what the expectation for energy is. Like how am I supposed to feel? I don't know. So I'm hoping to maybe figure that out this semester of like why I'm just like so fucking exhausted. Yeah. Sometimes doing things that make you feel good are not enticing, which is why I'm making this video. But I struggle with like setting routines because like right now it's 1 a.m. and I just finished my homework and the work that I need to do for tomorrow, and I'm feeling good, but I haven't moved my body in a really long time, and I know my shoulders are really tight, and I didn't want to go brush my teeth and put my retainer in, but I did, and I put lotion on my face, and I'm going to stretch for a minute. I turned my humidifier on, I took my vitamins, and I just lit a candle. And even if it means I go to bed at 1:30 instead of like 1:15, I think setting some of this time to be really like mindful about yourself is really important, and always makes myself feel very like loved when I do it. And so here's that reminder when you're busy to make a little bit of extra time to clear your head before you go to bed, because the last few days I've had literally so much work and I have not taken the time to do anything that is like beneficial for myself, pretty much, because it's like the kind of thing where I'm like in my free time I'm like, oh, let me just kill some time. Well, not kill some time, but I'm like kill some brain cells and just like, I don't know, watch videos or whatever. And not that you have to be doing something like productive like yoga or whatever in your free time, but I mean like stuff that your body is going to thank you for. Like I've been sitting at a desk and like running around with like heavy bags for 3 days and my shoulders are really tight, and so doing a little bit of like a shoulder relaxation kind of thing is going to, that takes 2 minutes, is going to make me feel a little bit more like cared for. And I don't know, I think that's important.